Heel hartelijk welkom. We zitten hier vandaag met een hele muzikale familie. En het is niet de Kelly family. Deze komen uit Ierland. En het zijn de Corrs. Welcome. Nice to have you here. Ze zijn hier voor een klein stukje optreden in Nederland. En dan gaan ze weer terug naar Ierland. So we're very thankful that you could take the time off. Because you're recording now. That you're recording the TV show. That you can have time to talk to us for a second. First of all, when was the last time you spent a day without seeing each other?
Well, we didn't see each other yesterday, except me and Colin did, because we spent the day together. Okay, well, it's been probably 10 years. Yeah.
In the Netherlands alone, there's 4 albums in the album charts 100. I mean, 4 different albums of one band. What's the mystery with you? What do you think it is?
It's kind of very, very hard to actually work out, what it is. Obviously people like our sound an awful lot,
A new album, In Blue. You stopped touring to make this new album. And then what happens? You stop touring, you go somewhere, you sit down, or did you already have songs ready, or how did that process go?
Well, we knew we had to soon at some stage come up with a new record, and actually the one thing that we did do in between it, which did stop actually the recording process, was we did an MTV Unplugged as well in between that as well, and we stopped touring. Eventually we were still doing the odd gig at this stage, still doing the odd one, and we just sat down and we wrote a load of songs, and it took a while. I mean, we went in and out of the studio in Dublin for about a whole year, and in between that recorded the MTV Unplugged, so we got a lot of work done, and eventually we're happy with the album, and we kept going back and back to make sure we got it right, and we were happy with the finished product eventually.
But how does it work? Do you sit down and you think, all right, I need a new song now? Or are you walking or making music and thinking, oh, this might be an idea? How do you write your songs?
And I think I generally, sit down and say, oh, this would be great to be able to write a song today, and I'll fiddle around on the piano. I'll say to myself, oh, it would be great. If it doesn't happen, I just walk away and I go, okay, another day. I won't, kill myself over it. But generally, when you want an album, you have to say to yourself, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to try and write,
It's actually work.
I mean, it is, but it's not really. I mean, it's kind of, you can't work it unless the inspiration is there. You can sit down and say, I would like to, but whether you're going to be given the gift of a song that day is, you just don't know. So, I mean, the way we all do it is we just, I think it's just moments of inspiration that we have if we're fiddling around on our instruments, or we just hear a melody in our head or some lyrics, or, it's just moments of inspiration that you just cash in on. And it means you have to drop everything else that you're doing once it comes. But it's not, I mean, I certainly wouldn't consider it work. I would consider it daunting before you have the album or any songs written.
I read that you'll start a song and then you'll pass it on to one of you, and then you'll finish it. Like, there's a lot of songs written by different combinations of the 4 of you. Is there any combination that doesn't work?
No, well, I mean, I don't think actually Jim and Colin have ever written a song. Like, you've never written, he's never written a musical part, because both of you really write the musical part of it, and then I would write the melody and lyrics. So that's why I would work with those two. And then me and Sharon have worked together as well.
We have actually, yeah.
And Jim and Sharon. Yeah, it's kind of, it's actually just there's certain teams have worked. It depends on what you do and what your role is and what you're good at. And we've kind of been lucky that as a family and as a band, we all have roles, that have just naturally been there, that just was fate, really.
Is one of you the funny one, or is one the nurturing type? Like, you're together so much of the time. You must have like a certain, like, each of you have your personalities.
We have individual characteristics, of course, but that wouldn't be immediately discernible to us. That would kind of be obvious to other people more, because we're kind of cocooned together. We tend to actually display similar traits, I think, at various times. I think we do.
I think so.
Yeah. At times we can be moody. Each one of us individually.
Yeah.
Etc.
What's the thing when you're on the road that you miss most?
Well, I think we each miss our individual homes, very much. Miss friends, you know, one thing that I love doing is just, you know, having a load of people around for dinner and just sitting there drinking wine and eating food and just conversation all night long. I mean, you miss that, and you miss the kind of, it becomes quite a novelty for us, I think, to be with other people, because we're always, even within, you know, the external band, which would be our manager and our tour manager and all the different various people that work with us, we're always together all the time.
Yeah.
So we're always going out together all the time, you know, dinner together, you know, sometimes even as far as breakfast together. I mean, that's rarer nowadays. But, you know, it's just lovely to be with a different set of people who are not talking about the Corrs.
Yeah.
Because when we're together, we're generally going, well, what's the schedule, what's this? And you just get so sick of talking about
But
the
isn't
band
that-
and what the band's
I can imagine
doing.
The bigger you get, the more successful in the world you get, the more people will want to talk to you about your music, even when you have time off.
Well, not your
Yeah,
very
you see,
close
that's-
friends, though.
No.
I mean, not your very close friends. They know you and they know what's going on in general. So, I mean, no, I mean, you wouldn't have close friends over to dinner and they'd ask you questions on the Corrs all night.
It's you kind of feel, I mean, we all get subjected to that now, and that's one of the, it's in a sense you never stop working if you're out socializing, because when you're meeting new people, it's a very natural thing for them to want to ask you questions, and they don't understand that it's perfectly normal, yes, but to us, we're being interviewed, and it suddenly becomes very draining, very, very draining. So I have a way of dealing with it. What I do is generally I will smile and I'd say, "Are you interviewing me?"
Yeah.
You know, and then they would kind of, and I just
And it'll
joke,
click.
and then and hopefully they'll then start talking about themselves,
Yeah.
and that's interesting then to hear about their life, because I'm sick of talking about my life because we're doing that every day.
Yeah, but they might feel that theirs is not interesting enough, since they don't travel.
No, well, you know, I suppose they get, but definitely, but people can't help being the other side of the TV, looking at a TV and thinking that this is a fantastic, very glamorous life. And there's maybe 1% of this is great, and we do enjoy it. We love what we do. But an awful lot of it is not very glamorous. But still, it appears that way, and so people kind of look up to that way of life. You know, and so it's understandable. I think that when we were younger, looking at the TV, we perhaps did exactly the same thing.
Yeah. So what part of this life do you dislike most? And then
I don't know, you see, I think that now that we're doing it for 10 years, we're taking everything more in our stride and not actually worrying about the things that used to bother us, you know. You know, I don't like lies being told in papers and stuff like that. That's a little bit boring at this stage, you know. But everybody's got to deal with that. It's a very minor thing. Sometimes you can feel, you know, sometimes if you're walking around and you know as a girl, you have your days when you just feel very self-conscious anyway and very vulnerable anyway. And you know, to be reminded at every moment that you're Andrea Corr from the Corrs or something like that, and you feel that you're going to let people down when you're just walking out going shopping and you're going, I don't want to let you down, you know, I'm not amazing, I'm just going shopping, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's
do you
sometimes
stand in front of the
can
mirror?
find
Do you wear makeup before you go out, or do you just, when you're at home, do you just go? Or are you always conscious of the fact that some photographer might be somewhere around a corner trying to take a
have to
snap?
let it go, because if he's around the corner, it's probably the wide-angle lens anyway. So it doesn't matter. It does not matter what makeup you've got on. You're going to be like that in very fog. So it doesn't actually matter. But no, I think, you know, I mean, in Dublin, I think we're very, very lucky, you know, because, I mean, people know we're there. It's it's all right. And it's not a paparazzi-driven place.
Yeah.
And, you know, we just put on shorts and t-shirt and a cap or whatever. I mean, that's what I do. Because you know, you make a conscious decision. I think you can make a decision to let this thing curtail your life, and I just won't.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to shop, you know, and I'm going to look like crap in some pictures. I don't care, you know.
Have you ever thought about trading? Like, you doing drums and you...
See, we can't. The only thing the only one instrument that we all have in common is piano. The rest of them, we can't really play each other's instruments. I mean, I can't play violin. Andrew can't play violin, neither can Jim. So we've only got one violin player that can possibly play it.
I wouldn't like to hear it if you did either.
Drums. I think drums would be funny. I would love to see one of the rest of them play gig. I would love it.
Oh, maybe it's a tip for them.
Yeah,
It'd be funny for us to see what you would pick if you were able to do something.
Yeah. I'm terrible at guitar. Sharon can play guitar.
Not really.
Well.
Not really at all. I've got 4 chords.
Yeah.
All right, so we should probably end this pretty soon. The album is out and it's a success and already. But what are your major dreams for this album? Like, what goal haven't you reached yet?
Well, I think there's always a goal that you haven't reached with the new album. There are goals out there that you don't know you can reach, so you just strive for. You strive for the most you can do, and I think, and I don't mean just, successfully or money-wise. I just mean that for us, because we write music and we love music, and it's an integral part of each of us. I think that if people all around the world love our songs, that's a really fulfilling thing. So that's the goal. I mean, that really is the goal.
Is there a part of the world that you're focusing on right now?
Well, we're pretty much focusing on everywhere. I mean, we've just come back from, as we always have done. I mean, we've never excluded any place. I mean, we've always, we've already done an awful lot of promotion all over Europe, and in the last 2 weeks we've been in Taiwan, Tokyo and Australia, and then we're going to America on Wednesday. So, I mean, we're not really leaving anywhere out, so we're focusing on, a very successful album all over the world.
Sounds like you're going to be very busy.
Absolutely.
Good luck, have fun, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The